Welcome back, spooky cuties. Welcome back to my lovely, very low budget channel here. And today's topic, as you saw, is all about tattoos. Because I wanted to talk about, how do you pick a tattoo? Like, where did my tattoo ideas come from? How did I think of a happy dancing skeleton dude with skeleton wings going into a spider web? Where the hell does this stuff come from in my brain? Why do I get it? How do I recommend tattoo ideas to other people? And the first step is I don't really know. But I'll give you an example. So this tattoo, obviously, he's one of my biggest, one of my most known. He's my skeleton dude. Everyone loves him. I go like this, he claps. If I go like this, he dances. Which was all accidental, by the way. What happened was, for this specific tattoo idea, it is right here. So, first, when I was about 13, 14, I was in this store that sold goth stuff and punk stuff, and I bought this lovely, the metal in this, gives me rashes. Anyways, so, that's also a pro tip. If your collars give you rashes, put band-aids on the back. But this skeleton dude here, see? I always thought he was the coolest shit ever. I can't remember, I think it was around $20, $25. When I got this, obviously, when you don't have much money, you're young, it was a statement piece. I had him on a necklace, and obviously I put him on a choker eventually. He was the shit. I loved him. And I always loved where he sat. I don't usually have him around here, or obviously I put him up here. I was like, dude, I love this dude. And I had seen this, someone else's tattoo of a dancing skeleton kind of going, aha! I was like, dude, I want that. But then the one day I was trying to think of a tattoo idea. I was thinking, okay, so I got boobs, and oh, my skeleton dude with those wings. But what if it was a dancing skeleton with also skeletal wings going, pa-da! And then it goes into a coffin. So I drew this horrible, horrible sketch, sent it to an artist who he also did my Lord of the Rings ones, and my lacy armband, which, same thing here, just I want lace, but like a jewel spider. Anyways, I sent him this horrible, because I want him to actually, have creative freedom on it, just like my basic idea of a dancing skeleton dude with wings, and, the spider web underneath, all that. I just sent a horrible rough draft off, obviously got, traced, whatnot, and it came out like this. And I didn't even think of how much detail is going to be on the sternum, which is then another question I always get, is people going, how much did that? Is that painful? And number one, it's a needle going in and out of your skin. Of course it doesn't feel good. Well, depending on who you are. But even so, it's not pleasant. It's gonna, sting a little. But I'm kind of an opposite person where fleshy bits hurt more than bones do for me. So the sternum part, still felt like a tattoo, but that was more pleasant for me than onto the boob, or it goes in my armpit. Fuck. I still haven't cried for any of my tattoos, but oh boy, that was unpleasant. And then a lot of the spider web under here goes along my rib cage, so that felt no bueno. But the whole point of that story is important necklace, and I just kind of went, hey, what if I take that idea, make it wackier, and then put it on me? And it's just that kind of idea. The biggest thing I tell people, if they're trying to think of their first tattoo, their 10th tattoo, I don't care. What is something that you love? Since I was a kid, I've always loved bats. Bats are the bomb. I've loved them. When I was around 3 or 4, there's this alleyway in my city, and I say this alleyway, so there's only one, and it's a popular alleyway, and we used to live near it, and we're walking, I forget where we were coming from, well, I did just say it was 3 or 4, so Forgive me. But we're walking home, and I'm walking with my crazy Christian parents, and I find this bat that, it was a little brown bat. I think he just got like startled or something, and he bonked his head on the wall and died. I found this dead bat. This perfect, beautiful, adorable, fuzzy wuzzy dead bat. And I was like, can I keep him? Can I keep the bat? Surprisingly, they did let me. And I had this bat in a jar for a good year or two. And then they got rid of him. But yeah, like, my dad put a bunch of cotton balls and plonked him on top. Oh, he mummified right out. It was the coolest shit ever. He's adorable. And of course, I grew up watching Fern Gully with Batty. And I love bats. The Silverwing books, fucking love. Bats. Bats are fantastic. And so, obviously, I have a lot of bat tattoos. Like my cemetery tattoo is because since I was younger, I've always loved the cemetery, especially the one here, so it's really old. But when I was a teenager, my friends and I constantly go out and we just sit. And my favorite moment, which is what I want this tattoo to capture when it popped in my head, when we see the Lucifer from Black Sabbath, was just that moment right when the sun was going down and all the bats would start coming out. And if you sat quietly and, nicely on the ground under a tree, they'd fly around you, like doing their little meep, meep, meep. It was the cutest shit ever. So I wanted a tattoo, cemetery, that would just make me think of one of my favorite moments. And obviously with bats. And then obviously for these ones, it's just because I love Lord of the Rings. But when I was thinking about it, it's like, okay, who's a character that I love and would want on me forever? And actually, same artist as this, except I just said, hey, I want the Witch King and the style of the books. I know you love Lord of the Rings, because he's tattooed me before, as we talked about it. So he did a bunch of book research and came up with the design for my Witch King, which then eventually we finally added the Eye of Sauron back there, which he didn't warn me in advance it was going to go up to my elbow. It was okay, but it hurt. Then of course we got a Fell Beast. Like, but it's something like that. Or the one that, I'm gonna fuck up my wig. But the one that people always ask me if it hurt is, I got bats on my head. Hello, baddies. I got a bat there, I got bats going down the back, and people are always like, oh my god, did that hurt? And, meh. Yeah, I'm a weirdo with bones. Bones feel fine. It just sounded like a lawnmower in my head, not pleasant, but nothing bad. And yeah. But that's what I mean. I have such a connection with bats. They inspire me so much. They're so adorable. I have such a deep-seated, deeply rooted love for them that getting a shit ton of bat tattoos, easy peasy, makes sense for me. Taking a memory of just bats coming out at night, and I got that tattooed. And that's my biggest recommendation, is always pick something that you're gonna love forever. Pick something that's a huge part of your life. Like for me, that necklace, but as well as I will always love skulls. I started actually, I think it was first grade. First grade started, I learned how to draw skulls, so I draw them all over my papers. Same with spider webs, same with bats. I was always doodling on my papers because I always get my work done early. And my teachers would always give me little comments on the skulls and stuff that I drew. I've always been a weird one. But the whole point is stuff like that. It's easy for me because it's something that I know I love. Just like I know there are people who, they have certain, what's a good one? Like certain styles they go for. And there's just things that you naturally gravitate to. And that's what you should put on your body. And that's where you should draw your ideas and your inspiration from. And then once you have that idea, you just let me know and I will happily, okay, not for everyone. But I mean, someone like me are just like, summon your inner wacky wallaby Patricia. Sorry if you do have one. But anyway, and just kind of run with it. Go, okay, what is most important to me? I love pumpkins. I love pumpkins. What do I like about pumpkins? I like fall. I don't actually like pumpkins, by the way. This is my example. So I like pumpkins. I like the fall. I like picking out pumpkins. I love the experience of going to the pumpkin patch. I love what it looks like at night in the dusk and when the bats come out. And I love the chilly feeling. So then you just kind of go, okay, how can I combine these into a beautiful, scenic, artistic memory? So first, hopefully, like if you don't know an artist, you just start looking for local ones. You have tattooed friends, ask them where they've gone. Just start somewhere. Definitely aim for people who will design it for you. That is the best part. Obviously, it's going to cost more, but it's your fucking butt. You want it to be worth all the pain and it to be special, okay? Anyway, so then you go, okay, I was thinking, draw out this. Here, you know what? I'm going to do it right now. You want to take that idea. Do I even have anything to draw on? Piece of cardboard. So first you gotta go, okay, where do I want this? And you're like, okay, I want it on my arm. So you take your very professional piece of cardboard and you go, okay, so I want to follow the contour, and you have to remember how the muscle sits, your own anatomy, how you would want this to stand out. And you go, okay, I love pumpkins. And I can draw better than this for the record. You go, okay, how many pumpkins do I want? I want a few pumpkins. I want it to be shiny with a full moon. So it's kind of on a hill. I like bats. Or at least, I mean, this is what I do with my artist when it comes to like a very specific idea that I have. Okay, I love bats. I love in the fall that there are, like, I love wearing scarves. So like maybe there could be like a lost scarf on the ground. And then you just go, okay, hey, Mr. Artist, this is hideous, but I like this idea. What can you do? And get inspired by this. Oh god, you can't even see it. Okay, wait. Hell yeah. See, it looks absolutely abysmal, and that's okay, because that ain't going on you forever. What they design is what's going on you forever. So you go, okay, I want some pumpkins, I want a full moon, I want some bats flying around, lost scarf, because you wear scarves when it's chilly. I want some vines. What can you do with this idea? This is the sort of stuff I love. And you want it there, and then they'll trace you up, they'll design it, and they'll be like, holy crap, it's an idea that I had in collaboration with an actual artist who will do it good. And there you go. That's literally how I came up with this tattoo. I just went, okay, my boobs are here. I want him up here, and then this below. And then he went, okay. Yeah, it sounds harder than it is. And I mean, if you're someone who takes what you put on your body forever very seriously, I could definitely see wanting meaning and to put way more thought into it. But if you're a silly goose and you just want something to decorate and you want to honor something that you love, just like my gigantic fruits basket tattoo, but you can actually see my little... I got all my keychains hanging up. So I love Fruits Basket. I made the entire Zodiac. It's more of my makeup. Fruits Basket. Fruits Basket. Ooh, but because I love Fruits Basket so much, Fruits Basket tattoo made sense. I have horror characters on my one leg. Giant death from Sandman. Like, my whole point is just you get inspired. You just go, hey, this thing is important to me. Where do I go with it? And of course, I got a shit ton of tattoo plans that I just either haven't explored or money. But that's the whole thing. Like, if you want something, you're gonna make it happen. If you have to save up, that's fine. Just make it worth it. Make it something that you're gonna treasure. And get excited about it. Because half of the fun is the hunt. The inspiration. The finding what do you want, or sketching it out horribly and going, ha-ha! And also, spacing and sizing matters. Like, there's so many factors that you get to play with. And when all else fails, you can't think of anything. How I actually came up with my idea for my cemetery one, and this actually goes in with, I always forget his name, Fakir? Anyway, it's from the documentary Modify. He was talking about people always ask him how to pick a tattoo, and he says to go in a hole and meditate for a few days. I'm not gonna say quite that far, but what I did with this tattoo was I was 18 turning 19. I was sitting in my room in the place I'd moved out to. I was like, okay, I want to get a tattoo. What the fuck do I want? I just sat there in the dark, not complete dark, but no sounds, no music, no nothing. And kind of like half meditated, like focused meditated, just thinking what is important to me, what brings me joy, what brings me great memories, what even do my friends have good memories of me. I'm like, cemetery when the bats come out. And it's just like with my head, I'm like, oh, what do I want there? More bats. What do I want my tramp stamp to be? Bats. What do I want behind my ear to be? Bats. What do I want my collarbones to be? Bats. But it can be that simple. And then you just go for it. What inspires you? What brings you joy? And what at the end of the day can be fucking hilarious. I'm mature, I swear. Guys, I hope this was at all helpful. Because I constantly have people ask, how do you figure out? What do you get inspired by? What should I do? I want a tattoo, but I have no idea. Or, where do I go from? That's the best advice. You'll see a tattoo that inspires you. You'll see something just really important to you, and you just go with it. Because no matter what, unless you get conked on the head and have a complete personality change, if it's been important to you, especially from your childhood, good chance it's going to remain important to you. And I don't see how anything can make me not love bats, so pretty safe on most of mine. Yes, I hope I was helpful. Comment below how you decide on your tattoos. If you put more thought into it, less thought. Oh, I am going to be annoying and have one more story. So, oh boy, laughing gives me the asthma cough. For example, when my grandmother died, I was trying to figure out what tattoo to get for her. She was the only grandparent to ever love me. She accepted me for who I was. No conditions. She didn't care how weird I was. She just loved me. And I was trying to think, okay, what can I do? And I actually had my sister design it because, you know, her grandma too, and her little sister. And she's an animator, so fucking design my tattoo, bitch. Respectfully. I'm the annoying little sister, so. Okay, so I suggested, and she came up with and combined, is it's actually a, is there a better word for it? Siamese cat? Anyways, it's one of those beautiful cats, and it's in profile, silhouette style, really pretty, with a skeletal bat wing holding a flower because, well, my grandmother, she loved gardening. Most of my memories, up until she couldn't anymore, she always had plants, she always had flowers. She's always been able to grow things, but obviously she accepted me for who I was, so skeletal bat wing was necessary. Sewing needle because she sewed. She was an amazing, wacky old lady, and her name was Dorothy. The cutest. Her cat, Ginger, was such a big part of our childhood, and my grandmother loved cats and flowers and me. So I wanted a tattoo to honor her, and it combined all the ideas into one. So it's stuff like that. It's something important to you, and no matter what happens in my life, if somehow, after this many years of being a fucking weirdo, If I woke up tomorrow and was like, you know what? Fuck who I am. Well, I can't really regret something so meaningful to me, who I've been, who my grandmother knew me as, and who I'll always be. So hopefully any of this was helpful. If not, well, sorry about that. You watched the whole thing though, so thank you. If you found this helpful, you should totally like my video. And I will blabber on even more. If not, then you can comment, do more silly, stupid stuff, and I definitely will. The only issue is if I record the silly stupid stuff, I can't do more content after. Phooey. So that's why I'll be a bit more far in between when I'll be gluing shit to my face and whatnot, but I like to give advice. I like to share what people constantly ask me about. So hopefully this helped. Hopefully I've given you some ideas, some inspiration, some tattoos for thought. Like, what did you love since you were a child? You fucking love Dragon Tales? You love dragons? Dragons. You can go with dragons. You can go, I like Game of Thrones. What is their style of dragon? And just take it off from there. What if you got one of the dragons from Dragon Tales, but badass? Good idea. You're welcome. That one's free. Hey, spooky cuties. I hope you enjoyed. You can subscribe if you want more of me. You can follow my Instagram to just look at me and not hear me. TikTok to hear less of me. OnlyFans if you want to see a lot more of me. Guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, a spooktacular night, and you do something fucking weird.